In this second, I hope, briefer video tutorial about hypothesis, I just wanted to show you how it works with different media types, different file types that we'll have in class. So I've opened the Unit 3 readings section of the Unit 3 learning module so that I can show you a couple of these things. As you've probably noticed, and I'm sure that I will say something about this in the intro sections of the course, the textbook on mytext.cnm.edu, this one here, it is listed in our course schedule. Let me drag that over there so these two are next to each other. It's listed in our course schedule as Morgan, so author's last name. And then the chapters are listed there as well. So because the textbook is not purchasable yet with financial aid funds, hopefully that will be fixed soon, but not soon enough for us, I have given you PDF versions of the first 7 chapters. So for units 2 and 3, you have PDF versions of the book if you can't yet make the purchase. So that gives you an opportunity to put aside the funds. It's $49.95. And it also gives you until the financial aid disbursement date comes along, so that hopefully those things will converge in such a way that you'll be able to purchase the text. So for the first couple of units then, some of us will be working on the book in the digital form, others will be using these PDF files. In every unit, I have given you a couple of readings that go along with the textbook, just so that you get a number of different perspectives on the events and issues that we're studying. I always list optional readings as well, those you don't have to get into, but you can. They're all great. What I want you to do is try to find a way through the unit that allows you to take away the main historical points that we're looking at in this time frame. So here we're looking at the late colonial period through the Mexican era in New Mexico's history. We cover quite a bit of ground because this is a survey course. So again, that's why I like to sort of let you choose your way through the materials so that you can look into the things that you have questions about. You can discuss with others the things you have questions about. You can choose topics that are interesting to you for the timeline and so on. When it comes down to the annotation then, there are a number of ways to do this. In the first tutorial video, I showed you how to annotate in digital text. So you click on the section and use the same one that I used in the first tutorial. Click into the book, and then scroll down. You'll notice there are no annotations. I can't see anything yet, although up here in the hypothesis extension, there's this little 2. That means there are 2 annotations on this page. I can't see them yet until I click on the hypothesis extension, and now there they are. I did 2 over the top of each other because I had a reply. So I can open that up. I can see the annotation. I can go here to annotate, and I can write that. Probably don't want to be super snarky, but it's okay to have humor in your annotations as we go along. So again, remember, you type in the annotation, you click Post to New Mexico History. And the cool thing about this, when you annotate a web page that allows hypothesis in the way that the digital text does, your annotations are directly connected to the text that you've highlighted. So you can decide to make a comment about a very specific part of the chapter, show us where that is, and then place your annotation. Minimize that and go back over here to Blackboard. The Casta paintings, that's a PowerPoint, so that's something that you can't annotate. There are some things you can't annotate, and I mentioned the film clips, which they're the next section of the learning module. You can't annotate the film clips. You can comment about those if you're using Twitter. You can bring those into the conversation. Or if you've watched them before you're doing your annotations of the readings, you could bring in ideas from the film clips in your annotations for sure. But again, the cast of paintings, that one PDF, or excuse me, a PDF, a PowerPoint is not annotatable with Hypothesis. But this is a link to the New Mexico State Historian's Office. They have an excellent website, lots of great information and articles there. Full disclosure, I've published a couple there myself. And so here's one by Richard and Shirley Flint. They're experts on the Coronado era, but they've also written about the Santa Fe Trail and some other moments in New Mexico's past. So here we can do the exact same thing that we did with the digital text. You just click either the bookmarklet or the extension, and then you highlight and annotate. So I'm not going to add that one. I'll just click cancel because you already get the idea. The ones I wanted to show you that are a little more problematic. So if you open, for example, chapter 5 of the PDF version of the text, you can annotate it, but not in the same way that I've been showing you. My connection got a little slow there. You can tell my face is dragging. There we are. All right, so here's the PDF version of chapter 5. I do want to make a comment about Los Comanches. I decided, and so I'm going to open up Hypothesis, and there it is. I want to highlight. I can highlight text, but you'll notice that the highlight or annotate buttons do not come up. These PDFs via Google Docs, or Google Drive, I should say, don't allow for annotations in this way. And so what you have to do is click this little notes box. So I click the notes, this one here, and now I can do another page note, right? So type page notes here. Same thing, do that. And now I can see all the page notes. I actually added one a little earlier asking about Los Comanches, but the problem again is that once I minimize this, there's no longer a highlight on the page. I can see that there are page notes, but they don't directly correspond to the text. So you don't know. I could have been commenting on something on page 20, and you wouldn't know. So with this one, you'll have to add a little more context than you normally would if you're using Hypothesis with these particular versions of the readings. Some of the other PDFs that I've assigned are like this as well. Again, doesn't mean it's unusable. It just means that we use it differently. So we'll have to be having a conversation in the page notes that don't directly correspond to the particular places in the reading. So similar thing with this one, Brian DeLay, A War of a Thousand Deserts. I do give you PDF versions of, sometimes like this one, it's a chapter of a book that I've scanned for you. Other times they are journal articles that I've downloaded from the C&M libraries. With those, again, you can't even highlight the text, but you still can do page notes. And so that's what the value will be here. You can write your annotations in the page notes. You'll just have to note, like with this one, you can say that you were looking at page 165, for example, and then write your annotation. All right, and then you can still reply to one another in the same way, and so on. And then ultimately, let's see, let's go to Hypothesis real quick. Hopefully I'm logged in as the right person. But when you're logged in, then you will see all of the different annotations that were made, no matter where they are. And so this is nice because you can see in the group places where people are annotating, and that means that I will see if people have both annotated in the digital version of the text and in the PDFs, so I can go in and talk to you there. You can talk to each other there, and so on. So I hope that all makes sense. Please do ask questions whenever you have them. And I look forward to using Hypothesis with you all.